so again, if this gets confusing, don't worry about it. Know that it has to do with who's ideal. Is Bill Gates and Harry Potter ideal? Is Harry and William? Okay, the ideal man is the African top martial artist who's, in my case, and I'd say logically, it's a mixed guy who's from an African patriarchal line, black African royal martial art patriarchal line. And just like my dad, he's the last one ever like him. I'm the last one ever like me. And it ends with me. They have stole, there's too big of a gap, martial, romantic, spiritual, mental gap. There's too much ill-gotten gains with everyone else. Their path is too stupid. There's no turning back after I die. That's the bottom line. Okay, you gotta use the boundary of righteousness and justice, not the mark of the pagan beast that anthropomorphizes their families and their children's families. If they happen to be sports players, say this guy's like a god of the Olympics or whatever, right? Even the Olympics and Mount Olympus are connected, and they're trying to give people kind of god status. That's part of why they do martial art in the Olympics, and they do Greco-Roman wrestling historically. They're trying to cheat me out of my rightful place on earth. And as a result, they've doomed themselves and their children just so they can act like petty statue-worshipping bitches and say that we're the important people when everyone knows they're governing class, corrupt, neo-colonial slime. It's fucking retarded. And there isn't a single celebrity or anyone who's allowed to be famous who isn't a piece of shit. Okay? As long as you understand that and that there's no one's going to be decent or respectable in the future, you'll understand two things. One, what's going on. Two, to a respectable enough degree, and two, why I couldn't possibly be lying. Why would I lie? Okay, think about it. I'm never going to be famous. I'm going to be cheated. I'm obviously this tall guy of great stature. Obviously, I have a certain shape to me. I obviously am smarter than the other people. I'm obviously going the distance when they're not. I'm determined to do the right thing while they're determined to suck a corporate dick. Their energy goes into sucking the corporate dick or being controlled opposition conspiracy theorists. Okay, my energy in life goes into telling you the truth. And at my top martial arts challenge, 7 years in Canada, it started in 2013. At the end of 2013, it's 2021. Okay, $4 million. They compensate me. I have 20 witnesses. Okay, and if not, it's still if they let me recover and they don't compensate me, I'll still pay. At this point, we'll call it $10,000. Okay, because I've taken serious financial hits and my financial future is drawn. As a matter of fact, we'll make it $30,000. Okay, because I have a little money somewhere. And, all right, $30,000 if they compensate me $4 million. Okay, for less than 5 minute, 10-point sparring match at the park. Okay, so obviously they're hiding like bitches. They're poisoning me. They're cheating me. All right, anyway, so all right, so in contest with Horus, remember Horus is fake, right? Horus and Set eventually are said to work together because they have a fake form of Horus, Min-Hor, Haro Isis, Horus son of Isis. Isis is basically a whore. She's connected to Asherah and Astarte too. Okay, and I corrected this in recent years. When I first started making videos, I didn't know that much about the story, but I associate with Isis with a decent woman, but she's used so much as the wicked woman that it makes more sense that she's just been a slut the whole time. So, and of course, these kind of mistakes don't matter, going back to what I said at the end of the last video and the beginning of this video. All right, so the various forms, Conhor, Minhor, Haro Isis, Hippocrates. These are fake Horuses. These are pedophile Horuses, magic card, kind of Harry Potter, kind of bitch-ass shit, kind of gothic, occult kind of garbage. Anyway, it's how it's used, and it was stupid to begin with because the first dynasty, the Alpha, the One, Narmer, Horus the fighter, meaning the warrior, meaning the top martial artist, Horus the god of war, Horus the archetype of Pharaoh. Moving on. Anyway, so they have a contest, and this is when Set is rewarded with the two daughters of Ra. Okay. Astarte is also identified with Sekhmet and often conflated with Isis. Okay. Sucking a baby. So you have Astarte with a child sucking her breast. You have Isis, and that's where they said that where Jesus and Mary is from. So we have Mary and Jesus. We have Isis and Horus. We have Astarte and some demon kid. Okay, so Isis and Horus is the fault. It's a whore, and the bastard child who's molested like Zeus and Ganymede. Okay, this is a pederasty, pedophile cults. Okay, the main ones. Okay, and they're in the tradition of them, even if they stop that activity, um, with a fake horse. Not the top martial artist, some magic card, son of Set, son of Baal, son of some slut ass, demon ass coward, his bitch ass slut. It's pretty straightforward. Of course, the elite might be offended. Fuck them. I hope they're offended. They're on the way to hell. Okay, what I'm saying is nothing compared to what's going to happen to you people for what you've done to the world, to the righteous, and to me, the heir that you were supposed to respect and obey and hand over power to immediately. Instead, you sort of chose to torture and make demands, and making demands of me is like making demands of God. Persecuting me is like persecuting God. Training your daughters to reject me is like training your daughters to reject God. There's no excuse for that kind of patheticness, that kind of baby line, Rothschild, childish, immature, bitch ass shit. Babylon garbage. All right. So they had tranny priests and the Asherah pole, kind of apron wearing bitches. So the people who look up to them, they're scribes, like Imhotep, deified scribes, garbage, craftsmen, demos meaning peasant, right? These are the peasant guys, nerds, scribes, sages, magic card mages, right? Witten, Wizzo means wise man, sage. So they think they're Harry Potter when he grows up is the wise man kind of thing. It's fucking stupid. Okay? It's dumber than shit. Anyway, they even say he's a math wizard, right? He's a whiz kid, right? Bitch ass shit. So Plutarch basically um, said the king and queen of Byblos, who have the body of Osiris that Isis is looking for when Set kills Osiris, is Melkart and Astarte. Revelation 24, speaking about Jezebel. Revelation 24, speaking about Jezebel. Now I say to the rest of you in Thyatira, to you who do not hold to her teaching, and have not learned Satan's so-called deep secret. So you're not supposed to be initiated in their cults and learn their bitch ass shit. And they basically, add things to make themselves look good. They're revisionists. They twist it. They add things to it. They synchronize their modern bitch with the ancient bitches they look up to. It's garbage. Okay, so you're not supposed to join that. You're supposed to kind of analyze what's going on like I do from the outside and say this is what's going on. And no, I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to get fucked in the ass. I don't want my kids to I don't want to have kids that are turned down. I don't want to be in your tradition. You people are fucking sick. You are fucking insane. It's sad that you're screening out the last person who can help you, and every path that exists is immoral, and morality is more reality. If you don't live in reality, you're insane. And if you don't live in reality and you're criminal, okay, which is basically the only way to not live in reality, basically, if you think about it, you're criminally insane. These people are criminally insane, batshit crazy fucking scum. Oh, Batman pajama having motherfuckers, role playing with little boys, just horrible people. Anyway, so in Phoenicia, the daughter of Epigeus, who is Uranus, the Roman deity, okay, the sky god Uranus, okay, the Greek deity in Roman is Caelus, and the daughter of Uranus, Caelus, Epigeus, and G, the earth deity, and sister of Elus. Remember, those guys are the same person, who overthrows and banishes Uranus. So basically, Astarte's brother is Elus, and her parents are Uranus and G, the earth deity. Okay, and Uranus is Ra, sun, scrambled, and a play on words for Uranus, because these guys are homosexuals and they're looking to rape kids. And Horus is son of Ra originally, before he's son of Osiris, but before he's son of Ra, he's just Horus. He's the son of God. Okay, it gets a little bit confusing, but remember, it's these Falcon warrior tribes, the top martial artist idea, okay, which probably was embodied by this guy, but perhaps it was just an Igbo somewhere else, because Eri is the Igbo sky god coming down. Okay, one way or another, it ended up being me, and it's the continuity of righteousness while everyone else was doing the wrong thing. So I'm the pinnacle, the number one, the top martial artist ever, and I'm the last valid martial artist and last top martial artist, and thus the last son of God, martial meaning to order. Okay, you should know that I'm right like this. Just by looking at me, you should be able to tell the difference between me and everyone else. When you're looking at the most righteous person ever, or you're a fucking idiot, right? Pretty straightforward. All right, so Astarte and Asherah, and Lady of Byblos, Balat, Jebel, Bel's consort, they all became the consorts of Elas, right? Okay, Elas, okay, the Canaanite deity, okay. Astarte has children, including Pathos, longing, and Eros, desire, 7 daughters, the Titaniads and the Aramedes. Okay, in First Kings, they make the distinction between Asherah and Astarte. And Bel is a syncretism of Marduk and Lil and the dying god Dumuzid, okay, who basically Inanna, he falls in love with Inanna, and she basically does him wrong, and he goes to the underworld half the time. At the end, when all is said and done, he's banished. The Gala demons take him to the underworld. When all is said and done, half the time he's in the world, the other half he's in the underworld. Okay. And he's a shepherd and so on and so forth. There's a lot of parallels between this and the Jesus story. A lot of parallels between Inanna and the tree of knowledge, and it has to do with sexuality and the tranny priests of Ishtar and so on and so forth. Right? And Inanna, basically, Ishtar is a form of Inanna. So it's as time goes on and the African warriors kind of are no longer expressing themselves in the Middle East, they turn into tranny kind of moon cults and so on and so forth. So Asherah is a Ugaritic mother goddess, honors especially in Canaan, often paired with Baal. In Akkadian as Aseratu, in Hittite Aserdu, or Asertus, and there's a bunch of wordplay here. Ugaritic Ateratu, goddess of motherhood, fertility, lady of the sea. Remember, Baal is a deity of the sea and merchants and sailors, and connected very much to Marduk. Is Marduk's attributes with the lightning and so on and so forth. Is where Zeus, lightning, Baal, Thor. There's connections there. The Asherah pole is a phallic symbol. So let's also, the queen consort of Anu and El. So it's and Yah. So Yahweh's consort, Yah, the same one in the Bible, his consort is said to be Asherah. And he's mad, and in Deuteronomy 12, he says, destroy the Asherah poles. They're talking about these things, I believe, Jeremiah, Isaiah. They say, no Asherah poles, no Astarte garbage, kings, and so on and so forth. Okay. Yahweh demands the destruction of the shrines to maintain purity. Dion is meaning goddess, like Elut, associated with Asherah and Jeremiah. Okay, so Jeremiah, they possibly are referring to Asherah, according to this, when they say the queen of heaven. And so the whore that rides the beast, it's a lot of things. It's Babylon, where Babylon infects Israel, and Babylon's system, Babel-on, is basically these demons. This system with a bunch of whores are synchronized on. Genesis 41:45, Ra's called center. These kind of Bel guys abuse them, and that's why you have the look of several groups of people to this day. The people in the Middle East, the Egyptian, the modern Egyptian, has to be distinguished from the ancient Egyptian, has to do with whose cults were in the area, who were the phallic symbol, whose dick, who was the patriarchal lines, and none of these guys are the children of God. I am the Son of God. So the Abrahamic faiths, simply put, are false, but they're superimposed on the truth. Just like the false forms of Horus, just like the false depiction of Jesus, they're superimposed on an ancient truth, which is the top martial arts truth. That's why Jesus said, I came to bring a sword, and Revelation 19:11, he comes waging a war with justice, and he judges people according to their deeds. In Isaiah and Jeremiah, they go on and on about righteousness and justice, just like Amos and Hosea, and talking about a king. A king has a sword, and in Europe he has the crowns, which are like teeth around his head, right? The little things sticking up from the crowns, and they talk about the horn as a thorn and the throne. Okay. Which also has to do with throwing someone to the ground, right? Thrown. I stab somebody. Someone does an air kick, and I grab them and I slam them to the ground and stick a sword in them. Okay, you get it.